Let's solve a LeetCode problem. The problem that we are going to solve is twosome. Twosome is like the hello world of LeetCode problems. We are given a problem in which we have to identify two elements from an array nums such that their sum is equal to target. Let's look at example 1. We are given an array nums of 4 elements and we have to find two elements such that their sum is equal to 9 from the array. In the output, we don't have to return the elements themselves but their indices. How we can solve this problem? There are two ways basically. The first one is a naive approach, that is the brute force approach, and the time complexity of brute force solution will be big of n square. The brute force approaches iterate over the elements using two for loops, calculate their sum, and whichever pair gives the sum is equal to target, we will return their indices. But we will be using the bookkeeping method, that is we will be using a dictionary to keep track of the elements we have seen so far. The approach is very simple. For example, we are at index 0 and we will check in the dictionary whether we have seen this element or not. If the current element is already present inside the dictionary, that means we have found our indices. For example, we are at the index 0 and the num is 2. Now instead of storing 2 in the dictionary as key and index as the value, we will be storing the complement of the current element that is 7, because target minus element is equal to complement. Now in the next iteration, when our index will be 1, we will have the element value is equal to 7. Now instead of checking whether the current element is already present inside the dictionary as key, we will be checking the complement, that is 7 here. Let me again repeat the approach. Instead of storing the element itself, we will be storing the element, and on the specific element, when the index will be at specific element, we will be checking whether the current element is present inside the dictionary or not. For example, we are at iteration 0, we will be storing element 7 in the dictionary as key. Now at index 1, we have element is equal to 7. Now we will first check whether the current element is already present inside the dictionary or not. As you can see, the element is already present. We have our sum. Now let's implement the solution. First we will initialize an empty dictionary. Then we will be iterating over the elements with the index and value. Enumerate nums. Now we will check if value is already present inside map or not. If this is true, we will be returning a list of two elements, that is map value and the current index. Else we will be storing the complement of the current element, that is target minus value is equal to index. And if we did not find any such indices, we will simply return an empty list. Let's see whether the current implementation is right or wrong. Okay, so this is giving error. instead of using list function, we will return the list as this. Okay, as you can see, all of the test cases are passing. Let's submit the solution and see whether our implementation is right or wrong. As you can see, our solution has been accepted, and I generally code in Java, but I have started to code in Python as well. I will be going through LeetCode problems one by one, and let's do a dry run again. For example, we have a target and its value is 13. Let's say the target variable contains value 13, and we have elements 6, 5, 4, 1. Let's say 7. Now how will we be iterating over the elements? First, in the map, we will check whether 6 exists or not. Because 6 is not present in the array, that is in the dictionary, we will store the complement. 13 minus 6 is 7 and its index as 0. Now again, when the index will be 1 and the element's value will be 5, we will again check whether 5 is already present inside the map or not. As you can see, we don't have any key with value is equal to 5. We will again be storing the complement. 13 minus 5 is 8 and its index is 1. Now the index is 2 and the element at index 2 is 4. We will again check whether 4 exists or not in the array. That is, whether a key with value is equal to 4 exists in the dictionary or not. As you can see, there is no key with value 4. We will again store the complement, that is 9, 2. Now the index is 3 and we will again check if 7 exists as key in dictionary or not. As you can see, 7 is already present inside the dictionary and the index is 0. We will be returning 7. Let's say we will be returning the index 0 and the current index, that is 3. I hope you were able to understand the problem, because I have tried to give all of the detailed explanation which I can. If you like the video, please leave a like, and if you have any questions or you have any doubts, please leave a comment.